with application of liquid fertilizer, 1034O, and ammonium polyphosphate and ammonium thiosulfate, which is a 12-26S, these materials are applied a little differently than, of course, the ammonia system. Even though the pressures are quite high, they go up to 350 psi injection pressure. And that's where the beauty of this system is. It has a very high pressure injection, which allows the orifices to stay clean and to give a broad range for variable rate site specific, or a very broad range for high speed single disc openers that can run 10-12 miles an hour. So there's some real reasoning behind the use of PD pumps, because they give us this great troubleshooting capability, in fact, if we're not making these flow rates. So we're going to discuss here the 2KP and how it's different than most other types of liquid application equipment. Number one, it's capable of 350 psi. Number two, it has all polypropylene heads, stainless steel fittings, allows us to use corrosive materials such as that have chloride in them. And the third thing about it is it has a tachometer, and we are able to attack the speed of the pump, and so we know that the pump is working correctly at a given flow. And there, of course, there's just a straight linear relationship between flow and the speed of the pump. And so if we do in fact have some discrepancies, we'll be able to pick it up in the tachometer located at the panel. So this allows us to raise that pressure way up and use about only 6 gallons per minute at the highest flow rate. So typically the 2KP is running with about 3.5 gallons at the maximum of hydraulic flow. This gives us a very broad range of application and not using too much hydraulic oil. And we prefer to use these type of valves because they're so easy to troubleshoot and give us go-home capability in case the valve gets damaged or something. We can move it into position and then keep running until a new valve gets there the next day on UPS. So this is all real time-proven technology, and we really like to see this type of equipment. Once again, the motor is quite small in displacement, so when we get on these big air seeders that require a lot of hydraulic oil flow, we don't use too much oil flow up. The system, once it leaves, the flow leaves the pump, it goes on out past a bypass, and so a portion of the flow is being bypassed back to the liquid tank when you come to a too high of a pressure, or if in fact you're turning the corners with the pump running, all the flow gets bypassed back to the liquid tank. And so this is an adjustable bypass, and you can set that pressure so clear up to 350 psi. The flow comes on out, comes around into stainless steel tubes that deliver the flow past an aeric flow meter. And this aeric flow meter has no moving parts, and that's the real beauty of this unit. It's built actually in Italy, and worldwide it's become very popular in its high performance. And so from the flow meter it goes on out and goes up and to the manifolds, and is injected with a very uniform application. So the flow of the material is actually split maybe up to 64 times, and in those splits the deliveries are within 1% coefficient of variation, and that'll happen at creeper speeds at 2 miles an hour. It'll happen all the way up to 10 miles an hour at high pressure. So there's one other part of this system that we need to review, maybe two other parts. The manifolds, of course, which are dual staging, and we'll explain that a little later in another video. A final point to make in this system is the primary filter before it even comes to the pump. And so here we have the primary filter group, which is utilized on these 2KP systems, and these filters are able to handle large volumes. As you can see, it's about 2 gallon almost in capacity, and they're easy to service on the go. This is a pressure valve here that you can pull down, and you can actually change the filter with the system full. So once again, this is an ARIG type filter, and this is the element that's stored in here, a second element you can carry, so you can keep running in case you get a bad batch, or you have you know, just basic service requirements. This works very, very well. All this has been learned over time, and we're very proud of the primary filter system with the backup capability to get us back into the tractor seat and keep running. Okay.